What if I told you that one of the most important industrial projects in Canada right now is being built quietly on farmland east of Calgary? No hype, no political slogans, no flashy announcements. Just a massive aerospace complex that could reshape Canada's aviation industry for the next 50 years. It's called the Havilland Field, and if you care about Canadian manufacturing, jobs, sovereignty, or defense, this will matter to you. Today, I'm going to break down what the Havilland Field actually is, why it's being built, what will be produced there, when it becomes operational, and why this might be one of the most important industrial investments Canada has made in decades. This is North of MAGA. I'm your host, Pierre Shields. Let's get into it. What is the Havilland Field? The Havilland Field is a new aerospace manufacturing and flight test campus being built in Wheatland County, Alberta, just east of Calgary. It's not a factory. It's not just an airport. It's a fully integrated aerospace ecosystem, including aircraft manufacturing, final assembly, testing and certification, runways, maintenance facilities, supplier clusters, and engineering and R&D. Think of it as Canada's attempt to rebuild a domestic aerospace manufacturing base outside of Quebec for the first time in decades. Absolutely. I think, there's room for everybody. It's really cool that aerospace is being looked at outside of Quebec. I absolutely love it. The site will eventually span 1,500 acres with a full-length runway, multiple hangars, manufacturing halls, logistics infrastructure, and space for suppliers and partner firms. This is not a short-term project. It's a 30 to 40-year industrial play. Why de Havilland is doing this? To understand why de Havilland is doing this, you have to understand what happened to de Havilland. For decades, de Havilland was one of Canada's crown jewel aerospace companies. The Dash 8, the Twin Otter, and aircraft used globally for regional Arctic and rugged operations. But over time, the company was sold, broken apart, and its production scattered. Eventually, de Havilland lost control of its own future. This project is about taking it back. The company's leadership has made it very clear. They want full vertical integration again. This means designing aircraft in Canada, building them in Canada, testing them in Canada, and supporting them in Canada. Not outsourcing critical industrial capacity overseas, and Alberta, not Quebec, offered the land, regulatory environment, and long-term vision to make that happen. A quick word from our sponsor today. That's me. If you like the videos and want to support my work, please like and subscribe. It's free. Comment, share, click notifications, whistle Dixie, play outside, fly chicken, drop a puck, kiss your mom, hug a dog. Share your love, because the algorithm hates me. It doesn't like me at all. You can also buy me a coffee and a super thanks. Thanks to Mehmet also. I'm so grateful for your support of having bought me multiple coffees. Back to the video. What will be built there? So what's actually going to be produced at the Havilland Field? Number one, the DHC-6 Twin Otter. This aircraft is legendary. It's capable of short takeoff and landings, operates in the Arctic, jungle, mountains, is used for search and rescue, and is used by militaries and civilian operators worldwide. What a beautiful aircraft. Production is expected to be centralized at the Havilland Field. Number two, the Dash 8. The Dash 8, what a classic. The Dash 8 remains one of the most widely used regional turboprops on Earth. De Havilland has made clear that future variants, upgrades, and maintenance will be tied to this facility. Number three, special mission and defense variants. This part's really awesome. These aircraft are used for Arctic patrol, surveillance, search and rescue, remote operations, and will be available as potential military adaptations. As Arctic security becomes more important, this capability becomes strategically valuable. When does it open? Here's the realistic timeline. Construction is already underway. Yes! The first operational facility is expected around 2027, the expanded production and runway use in 2028, and long-term expansion beyond that. This is a phased build, not a single ribbon cutting moment. The goal is steady, scalable growth, not a flashy one-time launch. Why this matters for Canada? Here's the important bit. Number one, industrial sovereignty. Canada has been hollowed out industrially. We buy planes, we don't build them. We buy defense equipment. We don't control supply chains. The Havilland Field changes that, at least in one sector. Number two, jobs that can't be outsourced. These are skilled trades, engineers, technicians, and aerospace specialists, not gig economy jobs, not temporary construction work, long-term, high-skill employment. Good. Number three, strategic Arctic positioning. Canada talks a lot about Arctic sovereignty. Well, actually, I do. This is one of the few concrete steps that actually supports it. You can't defend or operate in the north without aircraft maintenance, logistics, and cold weather engineering. This facility supports all of that. Number four, reducing dependence on foreign supply chains. COVID exposed how fragile global manufacturing really is. This project reduces dependence on U.S. aerospace supply chains, exposure to foreign political risk, and delays in parts and maintenance. That matters more and more. The political context. Here's the part we need to share with anybody who's willing to listen. This project exists because Canada no longer trusts global stability. Between U.S. political unpredictability, trade weaponization, rising geopolitical tensions, and Arctic competition, Canada is quietly repositioning itself. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deliberately. Like Canadians. And the Havilland Field is part of that repositioning. The risks. This project is not risk-free. Challenges include skilled labor shortages, supply chain bottlenecks, long certification timelines, global aerospace competition, political pressures from other provinces, and of course, funding and long-term demand. As a famous American president once said, "We do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard." If government loses focus or policy shifts, progress could slow. But unlike many flashy announcements, this one is already moving dirt. Momentum matters. You gotta agree, pretty awesome. Good for you, Alberta. Takeaway. The Havilland Field isn't just an industrial park. It's a bet on Canadian manufacturing, a bet on aerospace independence, a bet on long-term thinking. And in a country that often thinks in election cycles, it's pretty rare. If Canada is serious about being a serious country, economically and strategically, projects like this are exactly where to start. If you want clear Canada First analysis without noise, subscribe to North Omega. Like and share if you value facts over slogans. Comment below. Is this the kind of industrial investment Canada needs more of? Thanks for spending time with me. I'm Pierre Shields for North Omega. Go play outside.